Hello, this is Bill Clodsey, and our opponent is Donnie, apparently. We're put on the draw with this hand, and it looks pretty good. We can lead with turn 2 Dahlia into turn 3 Crusade, and our opponent mulligans, so that's also a good thing. But in such a powerful format, it's not like mulliganing is the end of the world. This is almost a mulligan since we have our 4th land, but that's not too bad. Win Brisk Kites first, just because we have the opportunity. And what should we get with Windbrisk Heights? The swingiest card here might be a Maria Angel, but maybe it's Mirren Crusader. That's a tough one. Yeah, there might be a flyer we have to block. Take a Maria Angel. We see red, so it's not like the protection clause is that good. And we know it's under there, so we can second main our land or something. So yeah, gotta lead with the marsh flats here. Although I'd be very tempted to get an untapped black-white source. So I wonder if that's worth it. We could just get our black land. Or we could save it. What to do with this marsh flats? Tell you what, I'm going to save it for now. It's just hard to make the right decision here. I would get what is it? Godless Shrine in a second if we weren't playing against a red deck where it might matter. And there's some value to this. Having a fetch land with an Emeria in play. That's a pretty good one. We have to be aware, though, that all of our own spells cost 1 more to cast, so we can't secure the wastes for 2 next turn. Ooh. Well, we're a little on the back foot now. And our opponent has white in their deck, so Crusade is not just pure upside anymore. Okay. Seeker of the Way and Godless Shrine. This is the play I like this turn. Just because it's convenient. Now we can fetch a tapped Godless Shrine, and we don't have to worry about the life loss from it. We'll just have black mana when we need it. And our deck will be slightly thinner, so more good bits. Oh no! The double Phoenix opening. As popularized by veteran Magic player... no, I don't know. Okay. Alright, we'll just help you out there a little bit. Take a ping. Try not to pay any life for it. I think we can win this. I think this is possible. Ooh, another one. Well, interesting. Now, I could secure the wastes for 2, which means next turn we could get our Emeria Angel into play. How good is that? Like, is that pretty good? I think that's pretty good. We can activate Windbrisk Kites next turn, and we'll have enough mana left over to play Crusade. What I would really want to do... yeah, we should have enough... because we won't have the Windbrisk Kites, so that costs 2 mana. So we'll need to play a land next turn before the Emeria Angel? Oh, that's not great. It's probably the play, though. How much damage are we doing? So let's say we do 4 this turn. Opponent's at 14. And then we're doing 6, 7... oh, we gain some life if we do secure the wastes first main. So we're doing 5, opponent's at 13. We gain 3, which is not irrelevant. Then next turn we do 6. We do 10, 11, and we gain some more life. Okay. Yeah, so I am just going to secure the wastes for 2 here. We don't win next turn, but that's probably going to be the case no matter what we do. And we do get a flyer in play. Yeah, usually you would wait until your opponent's turn to cast cast these, but obviously we have the prowess trigger, so you know that's guaranteed value. Hard to pass up. Lifelink against the red deck is also nice. Yeah, if you play an aggressive strategy like this, it usually, you know, you don't play for many turns, but the turns you do take are usually pretty important. So what do we do here? We can't cast Gideon Jura, that costs 6. Crusade costs 3. So, in order to do everything, we need to cast a Plains first main phase. And then we're attacking for quite a bit. Our opponent comes back for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 maybe. If there's no dragon over there that comes in. But we'll gain 4, so we're at 16, and our opponent might lose some stuff this turn. Yeah, and we'll have an angel to block. So we shouldn't die, and I'm just going to play it this way. Alright. Just attack with everything. The Thalia shouldn't be able to die here, so that's not a big issue. And our opponent might want to block something, because, well, another spell is lethal off the Seeker of the Way. Another good spell, anyway. Potentially lethal. Alright, and we get a little angel in play. So if our angel survives, which isn't necessarily likely, we'll be able to get many birds. And they're white, so they'll be 2/2 birds, which is not small. Take a look at this. That's pretty cool. The rare 6-winged angel. No wonder the birds love her. Now, what I don't want to see is some big Thundermaw Hellkite, or, I don't know, Bonfire of the Damned on our end step or something. So this thing has to attack each turn if able. I am just going to block it. Now, I don't have to block it. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to block it. There's not enough upside, yeah. Like, we can't die from that attack. Blocking it means they sack a Thopter and kill it, yeah. If we were at lower life, it'd be pretty easy to block it. But we were not. Spellskite. Spellskite looks kind of good. We're on the draw. All these planes that disappeared from our sideboard, and get them out of there. The Divinity of Pride looks like it would be good, except Dictate of Heliod just wins. Gideon Jura is better against aggressive decks. The only reason Gideon Jura would be worse is it's not a creature. So if we have Thalia in play, it'd be worse. No, I'm going to trade out Karmic Guide for Divinity of Pride. Maybe our opponent has more black than we saw. They were running some. But this guy's great, and it is a creature. And if we're dying to to aerial assault, this is even better at defending against it. You know, I wonder, maybe this is the drafter who picked up some of the early white drops. You know, playing Mardu. In Legacy Cube, I'd like to stick to a single color aggressive deck. Or mainly a single color. It just has the highest payoff with the monocolored anthems, like Crusade, that we have. Very nice hand. We get to, and our opponent mulligans again, so not their luckiest day. Oh, down to 5. Well, that's what happens when you play 3 colors, I suppose. The best reason for playing 1 color is that you get to play less lands in your deck and just have lots of 2-drops and never get flooded. Well, we're getting flooded this turn, but in a different way. I'm going to get to the tapped shock land and just do this main phase. Our opponent knows what we're about, so we don't need to hide our strategy quite as much. Followed up with Onofenza into Leonin Relic Order. But this game should be a breeze, given that our opponent got pretty unlucky and had to mulligan into Near Oblivion. Yeah, depending on how quickly we open or continue to open. That's a pretty good one. Our opponent might just concede. So whenever another non-token creature enters, so we could bring out Leonin Relic Warder here and bolster onto Onofenza, attack for 3. It doesn't look like the most mana efficient, but it does save some damage. And it takes some hate away from Onofenza. Because if they want their Bone Splitter back, they'll have to send their Lightning Bolt at the Relic Warder instead of Onofenza. That is fine with me. So next turn, again, we just have options. Yeah, let's get rid of that. We could gather if we draw another mana and then play Thalia. We could spear and attack for a ton of damage. It'll probably be a creature. A Theomancer, maybe. Okay, 4 mana. What's this going to be? Hellrider. Anything that's too annoying, we could Vindicate. Like anything that blocks us. That does a pretty good job. But what it doesn't do... Yeah. What doesn't it do? It is quite shocking, I'll give it that. I want to play this right. I mean, sometimes you're ahead and it doesn't matter what you do, but this is a pretty good start from our opponent despite mulliganing down to 4 or 5 or whatever. If we let our opponent untap with Pia and Kieran, they can shock something. So they could shock the Relic Warder. They couldn't double shock Onofenza. I think the most or they could block Onofenza and take 3. That would be fine with me, but they'll have to triple block Onofenza this way if I play Spear of Heliod. Yeah, let's do that. I don't really want to play Thalia because that just dies to a Thopter and 3 mana. So we're doing 7 here, our opponent's doing 6. We do win the race, especially with this Vindicate. Ooh, Swift Spear might change things a little bit, so now our opponent's doing 7. And what can we do about that? Ooh, Crusade, not the worst. 5, that's 8. Can't do much better than 8 damage this turn. And 0 cards left. So we need something to help block. If any land is drawn, that's kind of 4 damage. So what we could do is Vindicate the Pia and Kirin and force something to get sacrificed. The problem with that is we don't have any mana left over after that. Surprisingly close game. 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 8 damage with Crusade, and then we could have 2 blockers back. But then our opponent has 4 damage in the air and sacks 2 things, so that doesn't quite work out. I believe we need to act now and Vindicate the Pia and Kirin. See how our opponent responds, and if they sacrifice a Thopter, that's fine. We go to 6 and we take 3 next turn in the air. And if they don't sack the Thopter, we take even less damage overall. We're still in danger of losing this game because, our opponent could just attack in the air every turn and block with things like the Swift Spear and a last Thopter. So yeah, it looks like we're going to take 2 damage and a Thopter gets sacrificed. I think this is best case for us. Even better than our opponent leaving both Thopters back. But who knows? On offense it can come in. I like 1 blocker back for the Swift Spear in case it gets big, and that's going to be the Relic Warder. Maybe that was wrong. I didn't think that through so clearly. And the reason I think it might have been wrong is we just take 3 in the air. Or just 2. Interesting. But our opponent could maybe survive if they attacked with the Thopter as well and had 1 blocker. Oh well, drawing land was good. Gather the Townsfolk is kind of interesting right now. So it just depends what our opponent has in their hand. Now, what can we do? We can lead with Crusade, but that doesn't do much. And gather the Townsfolk gets 5 tokens. That's pretty good for a common. Alright, let's attack with both. That forces a block, and it doesn't really matter if we have Crusade out or not. Either way, we have to force a block. And are we going to play Crusade? I guess not. We'll probably play Thalia and gather the Townsfolk. Alright, here we come. Yeah, what blocks here, I wonder? Not nothing, but the Thopter blocks. I'm much happier about that. We can block a Swift Spear, we can't block a Thopter. So let's play, let's sequencing here. Play a bunch of tokens. And Thalia. And the good thing about Thalia is it makes something like a Fireball a little harder to cast. And we can bolster onto Thalia. Sure. Any shock kills us, lightning, javelin, any kind of thing like that. We'll have to go to game 3. And this could be the lethal 5 damage fireball here. Whip of Erebos. Okay. We definitely win now. Yeah, I mean, if the Swift Spear comes in, that's great. We get to block it with Thalia and no life gain there. So we did it, but I think we would have been dead if our opponent left the Thopter, or attacked with the Thopter. We had no way to deal with that. So there we are. Crusade. Oh, costs a little more than I thought. But now our opponent gains 3, they're at 6, and we're doing a bajillion. Just have to be careful to make sure we attack. Don't miss our attack step. Because we probably lose, well, we might not lose to that, but it would be close. If they drew a land, they would get to sack an artifact. And so they whip back Pia and Kira and sack an artifact, and that's plenty of damage in the air. Okay, so on to round 2.